Erev Tov. Yitzchak has a step brother, Yishmael, and Yaakov Avinu has a full brother, Esav. How are we to treat these relatives of ours? How are we to see them? So Jewish tradition throughout the ages saw Yishmael as the father of the Arabs and the Arabs as the creators of Islam, the Mohammedan religion. And the Rambam holds that Islam is not considered to be avodah zarah at all, and that there is opinion even that Muslims can be a ger toshav in Eretz Yisrael. And the practicality of the matter is that exists. And that's the basis, for instance, one of the bases for the heter mechira, that you're able to sell the land to a Muslim because he's a ger toshav. So ger toshav is not included in the law of selling land in the land of Israel to Ovdei Avodah Zarah. And therefore, that's how the heter can operate. What about Esav, this week's parsha? Who is he? So again, in the Jewish history, in Jewish tradition, Esav becomes Edom. The Chumash makes him Edom. Haliteni no mino Edom o Edom azeh, al kein kora shmo Edom. Edom is also an area in the south of Eretz Yisrael, also including southern, what is today, southern Jordan and northern Saudi Arabia. And we see throughout Tanakh that it was inhabited by a fierce and warlike tribe. So Edom, they're the descendants of Esav. But there's no Edom in the world anymore. So in Jewish thought, Edom morphed into first Rome, the Roman Empire. And then when the Roman Empire became Christian, then Edom became Christianity. So what is our relationship to that? So firstly, let us consider for a moment why Edom became Rome. And through Rome, Edom became Christianity. So there are a number of theories. One of them is that in the time of Bayesheni, so for the last 120 years of the Bayesheni, the Hashmonaim were no longer in control of the government, but that the Romans were in control. The Romans had troops here in the country. The Roman legion was here from the time of the Hashmonaim even. The Hashmonaim brought in the Romans to get rid of the Jewish Greeks, but they never got rid of the Romans. And the Romans operated through a puppet government, not directly through Rome, but so to speak, a Jewish government that did what the Romans wanted them to do. Now, the Hashmonaim had converted the tribe of Edom that lived in the Negev. They forcibly converted them to Judaism because they were fierce warriors and they became part of the Jewish army, so to speak. Not only that, they became the palace guard, the most important group of soldiers. And whether this Edom had anything to do with the original Edom of Esav, not clear whether it's the same tribe. But in the mind of Jewish history, it became the same people. They were Edom. That was Esav. And they were servants of Rome. Antipater became the head of the palace guard. He was from Edom. His son, Herod, and then the children of Herod and the grandchildren of Herod, all were the last rulers, the last 100 years of the Bayesheni. So because of the fact that they were really puppets of Rome, they were more Roman than Jewish, though some of them were really Jewish nationalists and observant Jews. Agrippus, they said, Achinu ata, you're our brother. But because of that, Edom morphed into Rome. And then when in the 4th century, Rome began to become Christian, so then automatically Christianity undertook the name and ideas of Rome as well and became Edom. That's one theory as to how it happened. Second theory as to how Edom became Rome and then became Christian had to do with the Gemara says, the Gemara in Kedusha. The Gemara discusses Esav. What is the halachic status of Esav? So the Gemara's conclusion is that Esav is considered a Yisrael Mumer. He's considered a Jew who went away to a different religion, but he's considered a Jew. He's an apostate. He's later in the Gemara, there'll be somebody, Elisha ben Avuya will be Acher. Throughout Jewish history, there are people like that they're Yisrael Mumer. And that therefore, the Christian religion was founded by Jews. Those Jews, in the eyes of Chazal, had the halachic status of Yisrael Mumer. And because of that, therefore, Christianity became Yisrael Mumer, and that was the connection of Esav and Edom to Christianity. So in effect, they are also very close to us. Now, the Rambam held that Christianity, Catholicism, was Avodah Zarah because of its reliance on statues and relics and icons and all sorts of physical representations, and because of its idea of the Trinity. And therefore, he held it was Avodah Zarah. The Ashkenazic Rishonim, who disagreed with the Rambam, held that it was only Shituf. Shituf means God plus something. But it was basically a monotheistic religion. And it sees itself as a monotheistic religion. And there in Shituf by non-Jews is not Avodah Zarah. And therefore, the Christian world was not viewed as Ovdei Avodah Zarah. Now that made a great difference in halacha, because it would be considered Ovdei Avodah Zarah, especially the upcoming seasons of the year, it would be impossible to exist in the Christian world. Certainly to do commerce in it. So that became the viewpoint of it, because Esav was the Yisrael Mumar. And Chazal, based on the posting in Ovadia that we're going to have as a Haftorah, we say it every day a number of times. So that Har Esav will also come back. Hashem lemelech al kol haaretz, v'amahu yeh Hashem echad, u'shmo echad. So there won't be a Trinity anymore. There won't be any of that. So then Esav will return. And therefore, because of this idea, there always was a relationship with Christianity, and the non-Jewish world saw that they call it the Judeo-Christian ethic, ideas, always lumped it together because of this Yisrael Mumar. So it's very complicated. And it became extremely complicated because of the persecution of the Jews by Edom first, and then later by Christianity throughout the ages till our time. So that's all dependent on what is the status of Esav. How did Yaakov view him? The Ramban discusses it. We'll have it later in the Chumash. That Yaakov is ready to give him gifts. He's ready to, so to speak, cooperate with him, but he's not ready to join him, which became pretty much the policy of the Jewish people towards Christianity over all of the ages. So we see that it all begins here in the Chumash with Esav becoming Edom, Edom becoming somehow Rome, Rome becoming Christian. How do we deal with it? And what are the historical and halachic consequences of this idea and these events? Rabbi Chananya ben Akashi Omer Ratzak HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Zakas Yisrael L'Ficha Chir B'Lahem Torah Mitzvos Shenemar Adonai Chafetz L'man Tzidko Yagdil Torah V'Yadir.